did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
Dirty fucking ruined it.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. Today, we're going to talk about the Rambo of the Mafia. Hope all you guys are having a great night. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. We've got a really good show for you guys tonight. Hope you guys are all having a good holiday. We got a lot of good things going on. Salvatore, how are you? John, what's going on? Raekwon, Mike Shula, what's good? So we got a funny show for you guys today. You guys are really going to enjoy this one. But some other people might not. But hey, their problems are not my problem. If they didn't want these videos, reviewed, then they wouldn't say the dumb shit that comes out of their mouth. But anyway, we have one more day for the toy drive. So if you want to contribute to the toy drive, you can hit up the Cash App at Chattin with Staxx, or you can donate through all them other means. Super stickers, super chats, Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, and every single dollar is appreciated. Let's get into the first video.
They were betting against other teams.
Yeah, they bet against other teams, and we couldn't handle that action. I was partners with John Gotti Sr. actually in the sports business with his partner, which was Willie Boy Johnson.
Remember though, he had a multi-million-dollar drug operation. Vlad reminds him of that coming up. But he couldn't handle that type of... he couldn't handle those types of bets because, he had multi-million-dollar operation going on. He just didn't have that kind of money.
On Avenue U, Brooklyn, so I would shed my action over. I'd kick it over to Willie Boy. I'd have to go meet with Willie Boy about the amount of money that's coming in. I couldn't afford the money that was coming in those days, which was hundreds of thousands.
But he's making multi-million-dollars a week. You can't handle a couple $100,000. Something's not adding up here, Johnny boy.
A day sometimes. So it was way out of my league at that time.
Well, you have the drug business, you have the gambling business.
That's raking in millions of dollars, and you can't cover $100,000.
But it seems like you were most known for the shootings and the enforcement.
Well, when a guy wants to, yeah, because it's not like people think in a mob you have a handful of shooters in each family. And it's not like, people are just under the belief because they watch, I guess, television and movies. They think everybody's a shooter and a killer and trusted to do that work. It's not really like that at all.
That's
There's
awesome,
a couple of
man.
guys that looked at to take care of the grunt work on the street and the enforcing. So, yeah, I became known for what I did, hurting guys, not just shooting guys, but hurting a lot of guys.
Right, and you said that John...
Hurting a lot of guys.
I don't. I mean, by heart, I'm still a tough guy. I know that, I'm not scared of nobody, but I'm not in the crime world no more.
But he will never leave the crime world because his ass is going back to prison. See you later.
Senior never actually shot anybody himself. He ordered people killed, but he never actually picked up a gun and shot anybody.
Well, that's why I compare Paul Castellano with him. Like I said, Paul Castellano had more guys hit than John Gotti Sr. in his reign as a boss. So unlike what people think.
But earlier in this interview, A-Light said that he'd never had dealings with Paul Castellano or Sammy Gravano. So remember that.
Maybe Paul came off more like a businessman and a gentleman, but he was a dangerous boss. John Gotti Sr. was a dangerous boss also. I mean, when you have your access to an army of guys that grew up with you since they're young guys, like John Gotti Sr. did. I happen to like Johnny Cornelio over the years. I think he was a gentleman. I thought he was fun to hang out with, yet he was a very serious guy. When you got access to guys like him.
I'm trying, Mickey. I'm trying. Listen, if any one of these guys come on for an interview, I'm going to ask them the questions that everybody wants to know, and they're not going to be able to peddle around the shit because I will stop them and say, no, that's not what I asked you. Don't answer my question with a question. Don't beat around the question. Just answer the fucking question. Straight up.
It brings strength and brings power to your position. So I look at a lot of these guys and I say everybody can't be who Johnny was or who I became.
In general, violence.
A rat. You know what he became? Let me show you what he became. This is what Johnny became. When it's time to be a gangster and do time, these guys just can't do it. And here's Gene. It is what it is.
Brings unnecessary attention to a already criminal organization. In general, if there's a problem, someone owes you money, someone did you dirty, or whatever,
you send this guy.
I'm gonna fix it. I did this to the door. I'm gonna fix it. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in.
They send him to collect money.
This to the door. I pushed the door in.
Dirty fucking ruined it.
He fixes doors.
you want to talk the situation out before it gets violent.
Correct.
But at what point do you decide, okay, there's no more talking. Now I either have to shoot or kill this guy, or baseball bat him?
Well,
I got to kill this guy, but he survived. I killed him, but he survived.
it depends on who's calling the orders on the shots. But if it's me and you're gambling with me.
Yes, he was attacked by rats on First Blood. Remember? Do you remember when they put the bag of rats over that guy's head? Remember? And it stuck itself. It like ate on the guy's face. I remember that, man. I got to watch that again, First Blood. I haven't watched that in so long. It's a great movie.
For say, and you beat me the first week out for $27,000, and the second week you put in action with me again, and you come up empty and you don't pay me anything. There isn't going to be much talking. I'm going to send somebody to see you and say, you just beat me last week. Now you came up empty. You better have my money in a couple of days. We're going to hurt you. You're going to get hurt pretty quick, actually, for doing that. Now there's a guy that's gambling with me and he loses $30,000, but he's been betting with me for 6 months. He's always good with his money, and then he comes up empty. I send somebody and tell him, listen, you're a good guy. You've been gambling with me a long time. How much can you come up with up front? 5,000. Say, all right, we're going to work the rest off for you. You can make payments until you clear it up. Don't bet with anybody else, and we're good. So each situation carries, a different discipline, depending on what happened exactly. Now, if you got somebody who robs my office, and they hit my office and they rob whatever's there, whether it's $2 or $100,000, when we catch you, we're going to hurt you real bad. And if you shot somebody or hurt somebody around us, we're going to kill you. So it just depends on the level and what happened exactly and how we're going to handle it. And then those are my opinions of how I'll handle it. But I have bosses. If it's Fat Andy Ruggiano, he's going to dictate to me. I'm not just going to do what I want. He's going to tell me what he wants done. And I had a good relationship with Anthony and Albert Ruggiano and the father as a kid.
And remember, Anthony Ruggiano was not a gangster. For the millionth time, he was not a gangster. He was a drug addict. They would not accept drug addicts like that into the family at all. I don't care whose son it was. I don't care who he's connected to. Daniel, how you doing, man? We got Mr. Romano in the building. Happy holidays. The Bronx, how are you? Happy holidays, man. Thanks for joining me tonight. A-Light and Iceman got their stories. He pulled the story right from the Iceman and said, "You weren't the hitman, I was." Miss you too, bro. I'm going to come out there very soon. I'll be out in New York City very soon, and I'll come see you. When you have one of them comedy shows or something, I'll come through. I'll swing through.
I could chime in and say, well, I think we should do this, and he'll listen. I mean, it depends on who I was talking to. If they
He'll
didn't want to let me
listen.
talk at the time when I'm younger. As I get older, I start making my own decisions.
Oh, God.
Well, you did the interview with Valuetainment, and you went down this long laundry list of people that were shot or stabbed or baseball batted or just hurt in general. And I guess you're famous for the "yes, I did"
Well,
statement.
yeah, when I made that long list, it really wasn't that long because I can spurt out some more for you.
I can spurt out some more for you because, you know, I kill people and then I tell everybody about all these people I killed that I wasn't convicted of. So this guy has us trying to believe that he murdered all these people and he hasn't been arrested for it. And he's able to talk about it because he cooperated.
And I was just giving everybody an idea when they say, well, did he really do this? I can go on with names, you know, and I didn't talk about a lot of these names like Frankie Geeky that we killed, I was involved in that conspiracy, or Louis DeBono was involved in that conspiracy, or Mike Lavigne, I shot him in the chest, or Paul Forgione, I shot him several times. I mean, I could go with names, I could keep going with guys I killed, or Frankie Burke and me killed 2 guys in Brooklyn.
Didn't happen. On the indictment, he was charged with, on his indictment, he was charged with two. That's it. That's it. So where are all these other murders coming from?
So, I mean, that list can go on and on and on, because this is what I did for, you know, a good 30 years. I'm probably better than that.
Well, I actually wrote down a bunch of the names as you were kind of, you know,
Georgie Grasso.
naming them off.
And Georgie Grasso.
So, for example, Paul G., you shot him in front of John Gotti Sr.'s house, and you didn't care that it was in front of the house.
Yeah.
Okay,
Did he end up
okay.
dying?
He didn't.
All right, so do you guys hear what he just said? He said that John A-Light here shot somebody in front of John Gotti's house. And John Gotti didn't do nothing about that. He wasn't pissed. Like, there was no repercussions, right? Because he's the Mafia's Rambo. They're not going to do nothing to him because he would end up killing all of them, right?
What happened at that time, I'm young also, and I didn't understand it was a snowstorm. So when I shot him, he laid in the snow. It saved his life
And he survived. No one saw him, so he survived.
because it was about 2 foot of snow at that time. I caught him in a snowstorm, and I also was going to cut his throat.
He was going to cut his throat, too.
In front of a house across the street. A sanitation worker came out screaming. I pointed a gun at him that was empty at that time. I emptied the clip trying to shoot this guy while he was running. And I was going towards him to cut his throat, and sanitation was screaming, call the police. And I ended up turning back around and not finishing it, or I would have finished him there.
And then I just walked back into Gotti's house, you know, walked back into the house and I just went back to sleep because it was a sleepover. What the fuck? Does this guy really expect us to believe this shit? Well, yes. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. This guy's fucking nuts. You can't make this up, man.
Georgie Grasso, you said he shot him in the head.
Yeah, Joey Grasso was one of the first guys we killed. Him and Johnny Gebbett tried to hit me. And also got his orders because he was talking about us being in the drug business. He was too verbal. You got one.
Georgie Grasso.
Right, yeah. You ordered him dead.
Excuse me.
Ah, you missed again. Say hi to the people, Gene. Hey, everybody. Let's see what happened with the rest of the Mafia's Rambo's story.
Johnny Gebbett,
Yeah.
I ordered him
Yeah,
dead
yeah.
from prison. First week I went in. Prior to going in, I told him, have a Christmas gift for me. And I says, wait till I'm in prison before you touch this guy. And this is after I had a meeting with Gotti Jr. Well, actually, I didn't have a meeting.
I didn't have a meeting with Gotti Jr. I misspoke. It was Gotti Sr.
He sent somebody to see me. He was afraid to come see me.
Sure. Gotti Jr. was afraid to come see you. I don't think they were afraid of you.
He was on telephones, and I laughed at him. I said, at this time, he lost control. I was asked to hit Gotti Jr. at that time, his uncle and his brother-in-law, so he didn't have no control over me in those times.
So he's trying to say that he was hired to kill John Gotti Jr. And then he goes on to say that he got approached to kill Joey Merlino. Do you believe that shit? Does anybody here believe any of the shit that's coming out of this guy's mouth? I really want to know your opinion.
Bruce Gadarab, you ordered him dead.
Bruce Gotterup was a guy, again, that shot Ronnie. One of them was a captain of our family's nephew in a bar that we controlled, and he was trying to shake down the bar owner. We asked him to step back. He actually tried to shoot me, too, with a machine gun, and he met with about 5 guys in a park to hit me. And actually, I'm friendly with the family. He's one of the hits that I regret that we ordered.
So tell us the rest of the story, Johnny boy. How did it go down?
I reached out. I changed my life. So I reached out to a lot of these guys and families and people that'll talk to me, and I advocate. I got involved with Second Chance program with Tiffany and Paul Newtell, Michael, Harry O'Harris. And, you know, I'm looking at guys that are in prison, like Gene Borello just came home in a Second Chance program. So these things, for me, is in my past. That's not who I am today. I mean, unfortunately, I did them. So
It's exactly who you are today. You don't change. You're still the same scumbag you were back then as you are right now.
I'm not going to lie about them. I got to discuss them for people to understand there's a life after you do these things. And
So you have to name all these people and talk about all this violence, right? That you never committed. You have to talk about all this violence. To what? For what reason? Tell me that, Johnny boy. You can't, there's no way to explain any of this violence without glorifying it the way you do. Nobody does it like you do, Johnny. I have to give you that.
can move forward if you want to change your life.
Mike Lavegli, you shot him in the chest.
Mike Lavigny, I walked into a nightclub. He called protocols. 2 cops owned the place that I had a drug business out of. He slapped a doctor that was going to an emergency call. He wouldn't move his car out of his driveway. So when I came into that bar, that nightclub, somebody touched I had a scarf around my neck. It happened to be Christine Belmont's, I got a good memory with names. Christine Belmont was a friend of ours. It was her.
What's this our shit, John? You're not Italian. You were not in the mafia. You were never a member. You weren't going to be a member. Same thing goes with your little flunky friend there, Gino, too. So what's this we shit? You talk like you're still involved.
Brother, I didn't know him. I knocked him out. His friend jumped in. I hit him with a glass, and then Mike opened his mouth. And I told him I was looking for you anyway. Shut your mouth or I'm going to shoot you. He said, fuck you. I asked my friend Keith at the time, give me the gun. He gave me the gun. I shot him in the chest.
And he survived.
I put a glass across his head after he was down.
Wow. Okay.
Ricky Stratton shot him in the head.
Ricky Stratton, I hit him on Interborough Parkway, Jackie Robinson Parkway. He was with those guys, with Bruce got her up and those guys trying to hit me.
And what happened next, though? After you killed these guys, what happened next? He doesn't finish the stories, ever. He just killed them and kept going on with his life, you know? Business as usual.
I caught him coming out of the house. Actually, his brother, Michael Stratton, Richie Langston, these guys were all guys that I'm friends with now and helped me to change my life. And unfortunately, this is some of the things that we did. And these guys understand that they lived a life like I did.
Nicky Pasquale shot him 5 times on his porch.
Nicky Pasquale was a guy that was around me running an after hours. He's Albanian and Italian. He worked for a bread union for the West Side for a guy named Ross, Genovese family captain.
So he was more in the Mafia than you were. Is that what you're saying, John?
And I paid off a cop $60,000, got shot in my after hours. He never gave the guy the money. He went to Gotti, thought Gotti was going to help him. I came home from, I was in prison on a short stint. I came home.
Bruno, what's up, man?
From Charles Koenig and went to his house, talked to him. He opened his mouth a little slick with me. This is a guy that's around me. I guess Gotti gave him what they call gorilla biscuits, gave him the...
Gave him gorilla biscuits, so I had to put his biscuits back in the biscuit. I put his biscuits back in the jar. These fucking guys are nuts, man. But what happened to all the bodies? Right? What happened to the bodies? He just dropped them where they lay, and he just moved on with his life, man. They didn't come after him because he was so dangerous. They just let him keep killing people and keep going on with his life, you know?
Confidence to think that he doesn't have to answer to me anymore, and I guess he found out he does. And I shot him 4 or 5 times.
And what happened next?
Mike Pip, you shot him.
Mike Pip, I shot, I think 3 times, and 2 of his friends, they were running. They robbed a drug spot on 116th Street, 101st Avenue. I had a guy that was driving for me that was one of my drug guys, and another nice guy, Mickey, happened to be in the car, in the back seat. And I said, let me step out of the car. We were going to a nightclub called Metro 700. I had a 22 Ruger 50-shot banana clip in the car. I pulled it out of a pillowcase. I got on one knee, pulled the scope out, and they were about
This sounds like a fucking scene out of a movie. No, listen to him.
half a block running, and I started shooting them. They said I missed them. I said, give it 10 seconds. They got adrenaline. They'll fall. And one by one, they started falling. So, yeah, I hit 3 guys there.
Vito Guzzo, you had him shot, and I guess he tried to have you killed like 8 times.
Vito Guzzo and those guys, I'm friends with Frankie Forandello, Eddie, I forget the other guy's name. But, yeah, these guys were on America's Most Wanted. They killed about 6, 7 guys. They were...
So they killed more than you.
Guys that were against the Gottis at that time. They shot one of Angelo Ruggiero's sons.
Nah, you didn't miss too much, man. You missed 20 minutes. That's it. We're just getting started tonight.
So he was going to go eventually. He challenged us, and he challenged the Gotti regime at that time. And we had him shot. And then
How dare they challenge the Gotti regime? They interrupted your sleepover, huh? Is that what happened? They interrupted your sleepover, Johnny? So you had to kill him? Leave his body where it laid? Let me ask you a question, Johnny. Did you have this haircut when you were out there killing people? Or was that after? Was this haircut before or after the bodies were dropping, Johnny? Because if a guy came to me and looking like that, wanting to kill me, I would just laugh in your face so fucking hard that you would probably run away.
walked into a nightclub that he controlled called Kickers on Metropolitan Avenue. I shot 4 guys there. One in the
Now it's 4 guys. Are you guys tallying all these fucking bodies?
stomach. I think the other guy in the hip and the arm, and the other 2 guys I shot over unionizing bouncers and looking for Vito Guzzo.
And what happened to the bodies? You were in a club. You shot 4 people. What happened next? Like, what happened next? I gotta know, John. You just walked out, and they just took the bodies away, and it kept it going.
Sal Nuda's brother, you shot him in front of the bar?
Sal Noto, it's his brother-in-law and one of his friends, had a problem with Joe O'Kane at the time. Joe O'Kane was around me. He called me up. He says that he can't leave the bar. They said they're going to kill him. He got into an argument. I walked in, shot the guy on the dance floor. I walked out, and I went by myself. A lot of this stuff I go by myself. And as I'm walking out, a couple guys were chasing me. I left my car so they wouldn't get a plate. And I told the guy, stop following me. He was with another guy, and there was a 3rd guy behind him. I said, you stupid, I just shot a guy. What do you think, I got to shoot you? And he kept following me, so I turned around and shot him a couple of times.
You shot 2 guys for Michael Catapano?
Michael Catapano was getting baseball batted on by Mondello's between 85th Street and Forest Park. I happened to be driving by, and he's a good friend of mine, still a good friend of mine. Tough guy, used to fight all the time. And he was fighting the guys, they pulled a bat, they were a baseball bat. I pulled over, seen him, and I shot both guys.
I guess you shot 2 guys for showing your property?
Just had an incident recently at a club. I had a couple of drinks. I was by myself. I was in an industrial area. And you have guys at Albanian trying to help. But they're weak guys.
Yeah.
I mean, a guy took a shot at me, went to punch. You know, he hit me, he punched me on the blind side. First of all, the kid can't even hit. I mean, he should be able to knock me out. And, you know, he didn't move me. And, you know, the next thing is somebody said to me, well, why didn't I go outside and finish fighting? And they showed up with 8 or 10 guys or whatever.
Yeah.
So I said, I didn't have my Superman cape on that day.
All right, so now listen to what he says. He says he took a dip, took a swim, but then he recants that and says, I walked in this place, I'm walking out. So, like, what is it, man? This guy.
So I took a dive into the water, and you know, I said I had my Aquaman suit on. So I made a joke of I came in the club, I'm going to walk out the club.
Right.
You caught me off guard a little bit because I don't really drink and get sloppy. I was drinking, I was alone. Guys know I walk around and do whatever I feel like doing. I'm really not worried about getting hit.
Right.
I'm a boxer. I mean, it's almost laughable to get punched. So what? You're in a ring getting hit 40, 50 times a day, around. So, you know, that I grew up like this. And, you know, if someone's going to kill me, I says, let it be. Shoot me. They ain't going to come in like an amateur and punch me. What are we, 12 years old?
Yeah.
So he's just going around killing people, dropping bodies, keeping it moving, mass murdering people, right in clubs, right in bars. No one cares. They just pick the bodies up. They take care of them, and then he just keeps it moving.
3 guys on my property. Somebody questioned that shooting. I forget who, but it doesn't matter. Dino Finelli was there, Carmen Roan. I give you, these are legitimate guys that were part of cleaning up for me, getting rid of guns.
How much
Rocky
you pay
Finelli, the next morning, they tried to hit me. I had an underground fence.
Listen, the reason why he hasn't been arrested for any of these murders, because they never happened. Police probably think he's a joke, because if somebody really committed this many murders and shootings, he would be they would lock him up.
Company had bells that would go off on my property. My ex-wife called me, told me that there's several guys waiting for me. I believe there was 5 guys waiting for me. I believe I definitely killed 2, maybe a third. Shot it out with them on the property, and I had this guy Danny. He was involved also. He did an interview about it, talking about you know, that shooting. And
All right, let me check that. Danny, huh?
these guys were all there, and afterwards cleaning up the blood, the mess, and what went on.
You stabbed a guy in the neck and the stomach in Fort Lauderdale in front of Nikki Butch.
Yeah, these guys were, I was with a girl named Dawn. I worked at a club called Shooters in Florida. And the guy was one of these weightlifter steroid guys, and he was with 2 or 3 guys. And I bought a dozen roses for a girl, and she was going to Champagne, the girl Dawn. And Dawn knows me, so she knew what I was going to do. And I went back to the bouncer, I think whatever he was. He looked like a bouncer. He just got out of jail for a brass knuckle on a kid from behind, a small guy too. This guy was huge. He was 325-pound guy. Anyway, I went back to him and I told him, next time he ever touches me, I said, I'm going to kill him.
Now, you heard him. He said the guy was 375 pounds. Guy was huge. And he walked up to him, said, you ever fucking touch me, I'll kill you. Now, let's see what happened.
I says, you better remember who you're talking to. And he mushed my face. I said, all right. I came back. I went to the bar. I asked them for a knife. They gave me a little lemon cutter. I said, no, the butcher knife.
All right, so now listen. He's in a club, and he's dealing with a bouncer. And he tells the bouncer, you ever fucking touch me again? And then he leaves wherever he's talking to this bouncer. He goes into the club. He's in the club. He goes to the bartender, says, give me a knife. And they give him a knife. And he says, not that one. So then he takes the time to walk to the kitchen and he grabs a butcher knife. And then he comes back to the bouncer. And the bouncer's in trouble.
The kitchen. I went into the kitchen, got the butcher knife, put it behind my back. I walked back. I said, did I warn you? And he looked at me. He didn't know what I was going to do.
Listen, I was a DJ in a strip club, right? They had a kitchen. I don't care who it is. Nobody was getting into that kitchen. It wasn't gonna happen. There was no possible way. There was no possible way that they were getting all the way into the kitchen. If there was a problem, there was problems with people on the floor and shit. There was no way that they were like moving around like that. Once we figured out it was a problem, they took care of it. Like it was really fast. So this guy to say that he's like, you ever touch me, I'll kill you. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the kitchen where you work. I'm going to get a knife and then I'm going to come back. They wouldn't let you do that, man. Once you showed any sign of hostility towards the bouncer, they would have tossed your ass right out. No questions. So this guy is fucking delusional.
I stabbed his friend, and the police were at the front door. They worked the nightclub, and they pinched me right there, stripped me naked into just underwear, took all my clothes, charged me. I believe at the time was attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon.
All right, listen to what happened now. Now he stabs the bouncer, right? The police grab him. And what happens next, John?
And later on, these guys dropped charges.
The state didn't pick it up. They were able to drop assault with a deadly weapon charges against you.
Lawyer knew my lawyer, Richie Raybach. My lawyer, Richie Raybach, at the time was Gotti Sr.'s lawyer. Gotti Sr. gave me him to defend me when they found out who I was and who I knew. The one guy backed out of the trial. The other guy gave information saying that I was protecting myself from his friend.
You baseball batted 3 bikers and stabbed one of them?
Now, this is a good one. He's talking about a president of a motorcycle club. Yo, Big Boy Blue, if you're in here, say what up. Because you're going to want to hear this story. It's pretty interesting.
The place was called Old Brother Inn, 78th Street, Jamaica Avenue. My friend Joey Mathis was an accountant, regular guy. He was in the bar with Kenny Nicole. And they called me up at about 3 in the morning. I was sleeping. And they said, 3 guys are here, and we can't leave the bar. They said they're going to kill us. I walked up, and I told the guys, let them come out of the bar. He told me, mind your business. One guy went into a coma. I'm not sure. I think he died. I'm not sure. I mean, I told the story about him. The other 2 guys, I batted. Kenny Nicole, I batted by accident. He came running up behind me. And a week later, they came looking for me to crew bikers. I went into a bar with Michael Finnerty. He was about 16 at the time. And I stabbed the head guy of that motorcycle gang. in the bar there.
He stabbed the head guy of the motorcycle club.
I mean, I guess the Gotti family said that you shot around 60 people.
Look at him laughing. He's like, no, they're way off. Way off. He's like, I shot way more than that. So he goes and he stabs the president of a motorcycle club in Queens. And they don't do nothing to him. They don't do nothing, man.
During a trial, they exaggerate, you know, and they want to make it, you know, I'm an animal. 1 second, I'm an animal. The second, I'm a serial killer. The next second, I didn't do much shooting. I mean, as you can see, we could keep going with all the shooting I did, and I remember names. That's the problem. When guys talk and lie.
That's the problem, is because people who shoot people and do things like you're saying you did, they don't remember names. They don't have all this information. That's how I know you're full of shit, John. Because people who are involved with any type of shit like this don't remember all the details. They don't know specifics. So you either had to search this information out and mold it to your little stories, or it never happened.
I remember names, locations, witnesses. Kenny Nicole's a witness who's still alive with that baseball bat thing. And there's 3 people. I mean, I baseball batted 3 people also in Princeton on Route 1 at a diner, the Princeton Diner. The girl that was there, Lisa Matrisiak, that's her name, she's around. I mean, these people are around and alive. They're there when they're watching what I do. I'm not with a group of guys. I'm by myself. So obviously I can handle myself pretty good because I'm not calling guys. I'm not bringing guns on some of these things. And I'm walking in the enemy's bars by myself.
He's not
doing what I
bringing
have to do.
guns.
So, the reason why I think it's important to say these things, because I need people that are in my position now in prison, that maybe they'll come home, they can change their life also. And these things are things that we can't retract. We did them. We believed in the life we lived at that time, but it's a new life for me.
Well, how many of these people that you shot or stabbed or baseball batted actually died?
Well, Ricky Stratton dies, I think, 3 weeks or 4 weeks later.
All right, so now Vlad asked him a simple question, right? How many people that you actually shot or stabbed died? Now let's hear his answer.
So they don't actually charge me with that murder. TT, I shot in the head. He doesn't die. Bruce got her up, is dead.
Yeah.
George Grasso's dead. Johnny Gebbett's dead.
You already named them.
Louis DeBono was dead.
You didn't kill Louis DeBono.
So that list goes on. 2 guys I killed with Frankie Burke. I don't know their name over
Total bullshit.
the heroin business on an order from his father, Jimmy Burke, from prison. They're dead. 3 guys on my property, definitely 2 of them are dead.
Where are the bodies, Johnny? Where are the bodies?
So, you know, when I'm doing what I'm doing for a living, I didn't sit there and count them. Really, it wasn't important. Like I said during the trials, I didn't have a computer. I didn't care. I don't care if I shot 30 or 60 or 70 or killed 20 or killed 2. I lived a life at the time. I believed it was the wrong life. And there's nothing I can do about that. Unfortunately, I was what I was. I did what I did for a living. But I didn't go out and target regular people in the public. I targeted people in my life.
Oh, that's why you didn't go to prison for all these murders. That's why. It's because he didn't shoot and kill and stab regular people. They were all somebody who was involved with that life. So, you know, it makes sense.
Were also in my life that were trying to kill me, and that's not an excuse for some of the violence I committed, but I can't retract it. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it either.
I mean, would you consider yourself a serial killer?
No, a serial killer is somebody who just randomly kills somebody. I had a purpose behind the violence that we did. It was either monetary or it was retribution for what somebody
Richard
did to our family,
Kuklinski.
the Gambino family, or somebody did something to a friend of mine like Joey Mathis that day. 3 bikers that threatened to kill a guy that is a regular guy. He's an accountant. He's in a bar drinking, and they thought they were tough guys, and I guess they found out differently.
Well, Sammy the Bull was also part of the Gambino family.
Correct.
Were you two close?
Now listen to this, because he was around when Sammy Gravano was around. He was 100%. You know where he was? I'll show you where he was. He was Sammy Gravano. He's taking on his identity. Now this, right, on the top is what A-Light sees in his head. This is how he wants to picture his life and all the things that he allegedly did. Now the picture on the bottom is what he really did. This was him. This was him. And this was not him.
Not particularly when we were in the mob together. Not at all, actually. I said hello, said goodbye, like I said earlier.
Now he says he was in the mob together with Sammy Gravano, but he didn't have any dealings with him. He just said hello and goodbye. And he's doing all this killing. I'm telling you, medication, it must be scarce wherever he is.
Don't step up to an underboss, or at the time he wasn't an underboss, but a made guy, without knowing him personally and getting the permission from Gotti Sr. At one time I tried to have a conversation with Sammy, and Gotti Sr. dressed me down bad. And I didn't understand at the time. He didn't want me close to a guy that particularly that he thought maybe in the future he may kill, even though he's his underboss, becomes his underboss. People don't understand the treachery in our world.
What's this our world shit? You're not in the world. You never were in the world. You are not Scammy the Bull. You're not. So all this bullshit you're talking, John, give it up, man.
So he didn't want me to be friendly with him. He didn't want me to like him. He just wanted me to know him, respect him. But my loyalty is supposed to be to the Gottis and keep a distance from him. So if that day comes where he asks me to pull a trigger on that man, I won't hesitate.
Well, Sammy confessed to 19 murders. Who would you say is more violent, you or Sammy?
Is happening right now in the Mafia social world, I would say, between you and Sammy Gravano. But before that, Sammy had a lot of respect for you, to be honest. So, and also he called you the perfect gangster. Let's hear.
So listen, John A-Light gave Sammy Gravano $3,000 when Sammy Gravano was released from prison. Do you know why he gave him $3,000? So Sammy could vouch for his gangster activities. Now, why would he have to pay for someone to vouch for him if he was in the mob with him? They were in the mob together, right? So what's that all about?
What is that?
In contact with my friend A-Light, was in the Gambino family. Very powerful member of the Gambino family. He's
So now that's Scammy Gravano saying that John A-Light was a very powerful member of the Gambino crime family. But he didn't have any talks with him or anything when they were in the mob together. This is what $3,000 will get you. And now A-Light wants his money back, by the way.
my Albanian mafioso told me.
Okay.
I think the world of him. I mean, he's a legitimate tough guy. I think he was put under the wrong people at the time when he was in the Gambino family.
Who are the wrong people? You guys are the Gambino family. It's John Sr., Sammy Gravano. He's the boss. He's the underboss. There's a consigliere. Who else is there? Like, there's some soldiers, and then there's John Gotti's son's friend that sleeps over the house. It's fucking annoying. Right there. That's all he was. It's not hard to believe.
At least he was part of my crew.
Now Sammy says he wishes that A-Light was part of his crew, but he had every opportunity. He tried to talk to you, Sammy.
We heard that he testified against John Gotti Jr. What was your first thought?
Nothing. He was betrayed by John Gotti Jr. And I mean, he went on the lam. He got in trouble in Brazil. He went to prison. He was betrayed, and that's what happens. An action causes a.
Yeah, I just want to know, have you heard that Johnny maybe assassinated somebody back in time?
That he assassinated people?
That maybe he killed somebody back in time, Johnny Lights? That's that way.
Absolutely, yeah. He was a hit guy.
He was a hitman.
Okay.
He was a professional hit guy. And A-Light couldn't get made because he wasn't Italian on his father's end, but he was to us, he was an Albanian mafioso.
Okay.
With total respect.
No, totally understand. Do you remember a little bit what was his activities back in time?
Whose activities?
Johnny Lights?
He said, whose activities? Sammy don't even know what he's talking about. Like he was paid some money to read off a little script. Now this guy's asking him questions and he's like, who? He doesn't even know who the fuck this guy is. This is so crazy.
Well, I think they used him more or less to be a strong arm. He was the muscle for John Gotti Jr.
For John Gotti Jr. He didn't say senior. Now, why is that?
We are back. Now, John, what do you think made Sammy change opinion about you?
Because I'm not like most guys. I'm not weak. So when he says something that's not, that I don't like or I don't agree with, I'm going to say it.
No, when you get called out on your fucking lies, you're going to try to defend your bullshit because you got caught out in your lies. Bottom line, you're caught.
So I'll say it again. Now, he's a cunt. He's a fucking coward. He's another big mouth that didn't do much. Now, people are going to say, well, he was an underboss, you know, buddy. So I'm going to tell you, you can ask people or research, what did this man do to get to be to the level of being a made man?
I don't know. You guys got any answers for that? What did Sammy Gravano do to be... I don't ask him yourself. He's right there. Hey, Sammy, what did you do to be a made man? I think he did a whole bunch of shit. Listen, I don't like Sammy, and I'm not justifying anything that Sammy has ever done. He is a total scumbag, probably worse than this one. But they're all in the same category. They're all best friends, you know? And it doesn't matter. If one could use the other, they will. And they don't care. These guys have no integrity, no nothing. They don't stand for a fucking thing.
So people think because they're a made man that they did something spectacular to get there. He didn't do any kind of robberies because he went through that on his shows. He did some bullshit like almost kid stuff, the robberies. He shot a gun once prior to him becoming a made guy. And he shot one person out of 19 out of his own mouth. So he shot maybe two.
You talking about me, Vincent G? There's a video going around where you said you wanted to get Sammy on your show. I invited him on my show to answer some questions. Yeah, I did. Why, do you got a problem with that, Vincent G? Because I'm going to ask him the questions that people want to know. Yeah, I reached out to Sammy Gravano, and he wanted to do a scripted show. And I told him, no, it's not happening. Robert Mack, what's good, man? How you doing? I'll send you the link if you want to come on here.
People, and he lived off that his whole life, and he tells you about how tough he is. He set up murders. If you're that tough After you cooperated, you went and hid in Arizona. He loves Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn, but yet he's hiding in another state under, like I say, like Bin Laden in the mountains. So to me, he's a fucking coward with another big mouth. You know, he's an older guy now. He ain't no tough guy. He can bullshit everybody else. These guys live over reputations of doing one or two things, and then they con everybody. So they don't sit with me because I'm very straightforward the way I talk.
They live off of reputation, and then they con everybody like you do, John. Just like you do. And Vincent, I'm not a gangster, okay? I'm not in the mafia. I'm a fucking interviewer.
Because I'm going to talk in detail. Let's talk about what you did. I'm going to ask him, let's tell us how you got to be a made guy. Tell me what you did to get there. Tell me while you were a made guy, did you go out and shoot anybody by yourself? Did you fight 3 guys by yourself? Did you go out and put a bat in your hand by yourself? Did you go do a robbery by yourself? Did you ever do anything without being a coward and shooting somebody in the back of the head with 10 guys by you know, besides that? Because anybody can do that. But did you put yourself in harm's way? Were you intelligent enough to make money without a group of guys? These guys can't survive without being in their neighborhoods where everybody knows them, where they got 20 guys with them. But if they're alone, they're not going to survive. If they're in another country, forget about another jail like I was in, like Brazil. So I don't give a fuck what stupid title they give themselves. It doesn't mean anything to me. And you got to remember, they're going to attack me because I'm an Albanian, putting down the guys that I don't like in the Italian mafia, who I think are just weak. I think they're cowards. And when I had a little more understanding of Sammy Gravano and his history, because I wasn't friendly with him in the mob days, I was Gotti's guy, not him. And when he started,
You were Gotti Jr.'s fucking sleepover buddy. That's all you were. You weren't in the mafia. Never were, never will be, never was gonna be. This is what you were. You were a sleepover buddy. I know all about you, John.
started opening his mouth, then I started attacking him after I researched a little bit more about him through his friends. And I'd say, obviously, I was more violent by my own hand. But Sammy, I think he said this in one of his interviews. Killing's easy, and I agree with him. If you're a killer like he is or I am, it's easy. The hard part is getting away with it, right? And you got to be intelligent to get away with it. Any dummy can pull a trigger, and you're going to get caught. I never particularly got caught with a crime ever. So I don't think, and I've said this over and over again recently.
No, you just told on yourself right here on these interviews. You're not that bright, man. You're really not. You're not bright at all.
Recently, I never been caught with a gun or a bullet or on tape or a video and audio. I was good.
Yeah, you have. You did just now. You've been caught.
Good at what I did. I got caught by everybody ratting on me. So when they use that word rat, or people use that word rat, they better define what that word means.
It means you. It means you. You are a rat. It means Sammy Gravano. You are a fucking rat. It means Gene Barillo Pad. It means Anthony Ruggiano. It means Mikey Scars. It means you are a fucking rat. You. Dominic the Donkey. Gene Barillo. All you guys. All fucking rats. And now they're fighting with each other.
Because I never was caught with a crime. When I was betrayed, that I was finished with that life. Sammy, on the other hand, was a very intelligent guy, a money maker. He was a gangster and he was a mobster. He was both. He was a thug and he was a businessman. And I try to carry myself the same way. And certain guys taught me that. And I think Johnny Cornelia was one of them. He had a big influence on me. If he never went to prison, I think things would have been.
Excuse me.
And particularly with his own stepson that he adopted, and all of us. We were betrayed by the leadership. We were betrayed by Johnny's brother, Charles, who was a drug addict and had no position. He had no business in the mob.
No, don't forget Anthony Tuna or Frankie Tuna and Anthony Areola and all them other guys. There's a whole bunch of them. Howie Santos, Frank Fortolino, all these fucking guys, all cooperating rats. Is there any other way to put it? Like, that's what they are. Michael Francis, rat. Bobby Luisi, rat. Hootie Russo, rat. All of them. I can keep going and going and going. Just like how he names off all the people he shot. I can name off rats like that. Rat, 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 rat.
He was a junkie. He had no business. He didn't understand the mob, and he was not mentally right. So these are the decisions by the hierarchy of the Gambino family to put these guys in this position they didn't belong in.
This guy was not in the mafia at all. He was a drug addict. His father was somebody, but he was totally addicted to cocaine, and they put him in a rehab. He was never in the mafia. Never was going to be in the mafia.
Well, you had said that Sammy the Bull wanted to kill John Gotti. I guess John Gotti Jr. or Sr.?
Sammy the Bull, here's again, if Sammy the Bull
Let's hear the bullshit.
was a serial killer, he would have killed John Gotti Jr., right? Or he would have had it done. He didn't do it because he had respect for, he's just a kid. He's a dummy. I don't respect him. He's a non-entity, and he won't do that. If he was going to kill anybody, it would have been John Gotti Sr. And John Gotti Sr. would have got killed if he came out of jail. Not just from Sammy, from any of the 5 families. Everybody
It's
had
not
it with
true.
him. He,
It's not true.
Just put everything on blast, and that's not what the mob's about, putting them on blast. It's supposed to be, like, again, what we said, a quiet entity.
Did you know Chin Gigante?
No, I didn't. I know of him, obviously.
All right, now he just said he didn't know him, right? He didn't know him at all. Now listen to his fucking wordage.
My child's mother and my son's mom's and her family, they're 2 of the uncles were captains in the Genovese family. So I'm very familiar. I had friends in the Genovese family. I was involved in business with one of the captains in the Genovese family. So I had to, listen, in the mob world, we're different crews, but we also align together. It's not what people think. We're not trying to kill each other. We're trying to make money with each other.
He just said, before that, he just said that these guys are all trying to kill each other. And now, we're not trying to kill each other. We're all trying to make money together. He's a walking contradiction. He makes no fucking sense at all. His stories don't add up.
So we're friendly with a lot of guys from different crews. And obviously over the years, a lot of guys that I was friendly with became bosses and of different crews and families that I was involved with. One of them is Ronnie Turchi from the Philadelphia mob, was a concierge there. I was very friendly with him. He got killed. His son was my
And they
friend
help
back
the
then, still
kids,
my friend
right?
today.
Listen, this guy doesn't help shit. These guys help themselves to a paycheck. That's the reason why they're doing this. If you really want to help some kids, hit up my Cash App. I got the toy drive going on. Every single dollar helps. We got one more day to get some money towards this toy drive. We already have almost around $200. So if you want to help out, just hit up the Cash App, hit up PayPal, Venmo, Super Sticker, Super Chats, all that good stuff. And we'll try to get these kids to have a good Christmas this year. Regardless, it's going to happen. So if you guys want to help me help them, hit up the Cash App. And if you can't donate, share the video.
Did you see the movie The Irishman?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know Frank Sheeran at all?
No, I knew Ali Calabrese is one of the guys I hurt in prison that they talk about, was around one of the bosses, Captain Tommy from Cleveland. So, all of us know each other one way or another, or we know of each other.
Thank you, Ronald. I appreciate that. He says, absolutely loving this, Staxx. Your dedication, hard work is definitely showing. Keep a good shows coming, and have a very Merry Christmas. Ron from Georgia, longtime viewer. Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
I didn't know him personally, no.
What about Jimmy Hoffa?
No, I didn't know Jimmy Hoffa, and I don't think anybody knows where Jimmy Hoffa is. When I hear these stories,
Don't step in the bullshit, guys, Because you might, listening to this bullshit, someone go get the toilet paper. Johnny Boy needs it.
Stories. Nobody knows what Jimmy is.
Right. Well, I interviewed Michael Franzese, and he said that The Irishman, is a nice movie, but really the premise of it is a lie. He said that Frank Sheeran didn't kill Jimmy Hoffa.
I'll tell you this, I saw The Irishman. I don't know if you've seen it, Scorsese's new film.
Not yet. I heard it was great.
Okay. It was good. It wasn't epic. It wasn't The Godfather. It wasn't Goodfellas. I don't think it was in that level. And I can tell you that the story was a complete lie. There's no truth to the story. Yes, certain little things that happened were, but Sheeran did not kill Jimmy Hoffa.
I agree with them. We don't know who killed Jimmy Hoffa, right? If they knew who killed Jimmy Hoffa, there would be with all the guys that are ratting and snitching over the years, and they would have found the body. Nobody knows what happened to Jimmy Hoffa, really. And I agree with him. The movie was a movie. I didn't particularly care for the movie, actually. I thought it fell way short of where it should have been. But it's entertainment. I mean, it's not real life.
Your life isn't real life.
The JFK assassination. Michael.
Johnny, your life is not real life. Your life is a movie. You watched a movie and you're explaining a movie like it's your real life. It's crazy. You're taking bits and pieces from all these other people, like Sammy Gravano. It sounds like you're telling Sammy Gravano's story. I was Gotti's guy. I'm the one that tampered with the jury. Fuck out of here, man.
Franzese talked about that, how he felt the mob was involved in killing of JFK. Now, you believe that the Mafia has something to do with JFK's murder?
Yeah, I believe that firmly because of what I was told. And there's no reason for people to mislead or lie to me. People, as part of that life, that had knowledge, yeah.
Who, your daddy? Your stepdaddy told you that, Johnny? Because he's not your real dad. He's your stepfather. So stop telling people he's your real father. He was your stepfather. A lot of people don't know that. He is not Sonny Francese's blood. John Franzese was Sonny Francese's blood, not Michael.
Did you know anything about that?
Well, everybody knows that Joe Kennedy was involved and he had business with the mob. Everybody knows that the mob helped them, John F. Kennedy, win the election with unions and voted. And everybody knows that the Kennedys backstabbed everybody. So do I think the mob was involved in that murder with the government and together? Yes.
He didn't care for the movie because his audition didn't pan out.
It was a different era, and things worked differently back then. And things change and evolve over the years. And so corruption, where there's money, there's corruption at any level. I mean, the president, Richard Nixon, got impeached. So, when people are naive to say, well, he's this, human beings are human beings, and the root of evil is money, right? And you read it in the Bible, you read it in the Quran, you read it anywhere, and you live it, and life experience tells you about the temptation of greed.
Well, you talked about being in and out of prison most of your adult life, and you spent 18 years total in prison?
In and out, approximately. I mean, I've been in and out of jail my whole life, so.
You did 3.5 years for a gun charge. You ended up being in solitary for about 7 years.
Approximately. My last bid I did between Brazil, MCC, Florida. I never seen a yard. So if somebody says to you, well, did you go out to the yard? I didn't see a yard. I was in lockdown units for 10 years. And that was in Brazil. I think we got out once a month, either naked or in our underwear with no shoes on rocks. Otherwise, we're locked down. Florida, they would give me on what they call diesel therapy from jail to jail. They forced me into solitary confinement, no commissary, no radios, no books, no nothing. Every 3 days I was moved. And at MCC later on, when I come in over there, I'm in MCC for over 4 years, locked down also. I get up on a roof a couple of times a week, 2 or 3 times a week. So yeah, I never seen an actual yard or a penitentiary yard for those 10 years. Prior to that, I'm in and out.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that whole part because at one point you caught a RICO case.
I know people know exactly how much prison time they did. They know exactly how much time. I agree with you, Salvatore.
And you decided to go on the run.
Correct.
And you said you left behind millions of dollars in the process.
Correct.
How much cash did you have at that time?
Well, just alone, I sent $780,000 to a guy named Marco De Pinto. I had it wired to him in Brazil. He took it. So there was 780 there. I went for $1 million in lawyers. So it was another $1 million, whatever. I spent $350,000 with my partner fighting Mike Mallerton and Duke Louis Mandel for robbing my parking company. These guys were subpoenaed in. I think our civil lawyer was about $500,000.
So let me get this straight. He's with the mob and he's suing people that robbed his business. Now, do you believe this?
Couple, about 300,000, 250 actually with my Brazilian attorneys. I hired private investigators between all of them. I had different ones in New York. I had an extradition lawyer.
Yeah, he should wire me some money, man. I swear I'll give it to the lawyer. I promise.
Here in the States, I probably went for another 100 grand. I left in a safe at my sister's house, 268,000.
He said $1 million, $1 million. It was just spent $1 million there, no problem.
Sister Maria's. My other sister, I left 165, I believe. I gave my mother 400,000 before I left. I had 420,000 buried underground. I mean, I could go on. I had money all over the place. I have people that owe me money now that I'll never see back.
Hey, we got a special surprise for you guys. Look who's here. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How
What's
you
going
doing?
on? Talking
I'm
about old
doing
Sammy
good.
tonight, huh?
Yeah, man. I'm taking care of these guys tonight, you know?
Sounds like it.
Hey, I'm just going over the facts. These guys, he's telling his factual story and we're just enjoying it.
Yeah, he's full of facts. Hey,
Full of them.
I did go back and listen to his story about the twins.
Oh,
Yeah, he's full-
Scammy
Huh?
Gravano?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's talk about that, man.
yeah. It didn't go down like that, the way he said it.
Yeah, so let me see. Maybe I don't know if I could play a clip from that video. I might have it still. Hold on. Let me see if I got it.
You know the one where he did 8 months in the hole allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sammy was saying about the
He was
Flores twins. You want
Yeah.
to tell the story that he told, and then
yeah. He said
Yeah,
that
the truth.
that his him and his daughter was in the visiting room with the twins, P and J, and with their wives, and that they come up there wearing big rocks on their fingers and driving Bentleys and dressing real nice, and so Sammy had his daughter come up saying that these guys were going to give her $800.
Yeah.
And so Sammy's getting all nervous because it's getting towards the end. So, he says something to him. And the lady said something to him, back to either P or J. Why do you deal with these peasants?
Do you think that's true?
I don't know.
Could be.
I would hope that it's not true, just because. I mean, Sammy is a peasant, to be honest with you. So, but I would hope that she has more class than to say that.
Listen,
even though
if Sammy Gravano is waiting for $800,
well, Sammy didn't have a pot to piss in. I mean, listen.
then he is a fucking peasant.
Listen, he is a peasant. Listen, I've been in prison. Now, I think I was in there, I don't know, 18, 19 years when he shows up. And yeah, I gave him money, just because, just hey, here's a few dollars, man. Now scat. But
Yeah.
yeah, but so the twins, would give him a few dollars here and there, and Sammy would give him a picture that he didn't do.
Yeah.
And like he signed his book for him, you know. So he thinks that he's owed money, and he's giving him advice and trying to school him. So he thinks that they're indebted to him. Well, they don't owe anybody anything, you know.
Yeah.
And so Sammy, anyone that would get close to the twins, Sammy would try to knock them out. You know, meaning he'd go put a bug in one of the guards or counselors' ears saying, yeah, this guy's doing this or this guy's doing that, to get him to ship the hell out of there so he could have the twins to himself to try
he
to
would get them moved so that they wouldn't even be around and be a problem.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And P&J, they back that what I just said, they back that up 100%. I mean, yeah, it's, it's just, yeah, he's so full, but what's funny is Sammy thinks that he's so slick, that nobody sees that. Man, come on, we're all sitting there, we can all see it, So he got bit. He got a taste of his own medicine. So he was allegedly plotting to have these girls robbed when they were coming up to visit. Right?
Oh, that's what it was. Because he says, hold on. Matter of fact, I could get the video. I got the video. Hold on 1 second. He says someone else was plotting to rob them.
Yeah. He was trying to set it up and got told on.
I believe.
And because he's Sammy the Bull, the WIDSEC program didn't want to have an embarrassment. So they swept it under the rug. That's what they do with Sammy. Sweep it under the rug.
All right, let me see. I got it right here. I think I definitely got it. I just need a second to find it. All right, boom. Here it is. Now I found it. Go subscribe to Shy Ill Reacts. Make sure you guys check out this channel. I'm going to play this little video real quick. And now this is, I believe he's going over the video.
What's poppin', y'all? We back at it today. We got Sammy the Bull Gravano speaking on his time with the Flores twins. If you have yet to subscribe to the channel, please do. Hit the like button and notification bell so we can keep this channel moving forward. Let's get it.
Hey, Sammy, you did time with Flores twins and played chess together. I found out while listening to their podcast, Surviving El Chapo. Love from Boston.
I did time with both of the twins who testified against Chapo. They were twins when they first came in. I'll never forget it. I was sitting in the kitchen at
They were always twins, bro.
Table eating with a few guys, and they told us, because there was a lot of law enforcement, they tightened the whole place. They treated them like they were, heavyweights. And
Sammy was jealous
they said
over
they
that.
were twins. Sitting down eating, and they got online, and their turn came to come up, and I saw them. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, boy. You could not tell the fucking difference. Now, I got to know them, and I got friendly with them. One of them had a tattoo on his neck. I don't think it was P, it was the other one. When I was talking with him, I used to pull his shirt, and I knew which one it was by looking at his tattoo. That's how similar they were. Then they were there for a while, and then they split them up.
Do you remember when they split them up?
No, I left right before they got split up. But I know why they got split up.
Oh, you know why they got split up?
Yeah, because of Sammy.
We'll talk about it after this is done playing.
One I got along with better, he was sent somewhere else. The one I didn't get along with that good was in the place I was in.
All right.
Pedro.
Which one he had beef with? Huh?
Jay. With
Huh?
Jay. They had a beef with Jay.
Jay, yeah. Here, I got a picture of the twins. And you can tell them apart, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, easy.
Oh yeah, let me show you. Let me show everybody who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Which one's which?
P is on the bottom, and then J is up on top.
So J's the one that stayed, and P
Yeah,
is the
Pedro.
one that they
P
shipped out.
left. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Let's get back to it.
And P was the smart one.
Mess with one. We discussed was got popped for JP. He said he was almost running the joint
with commissary, literally almost running into a couple of beefs.
Don't do none of that.
I got into a couple of beefs with him.
I wonder which one it is though, JP.
You know, and then in the joint, he was like literally almost running the joint. It was, you know, he had all kinds of money, even in prison with commissary, doing all kinds of shit. I'll never forget. My niece came on a visit. I went on a visit.
He said he was almost running the joint because you know he had money.
I went on a visit with my niece, and he was there with his wife. She had a fucking rock on her finger, diamond fucking earrings. I don't even know how the prison let her in like that. So my niece said, "Look, Uncle Sam, look at that girl's ring." I said, "I know. They have a lot of money." And she says, "I'd like to jump over and bite it off." My family's like little gangsters, even the girls. Like, so I said, "No, shut up. I know him. He's a friend of mine." And I talked to him when he came in. She came in with a Bentley, I think. And everybody's looking.
Bentley, I'm gonna say.
So, hold on a second.
So he's saying all these things, and his
Yeah.
reactions is because he is 100% jealous. He is so freaking jealous of these kids because they got little money. I mean, they got a lot of money, but because they were spending money, and these kids, the difference between Sammy and these kids is these kids have no agenda. You know what I mean? They got no agenda. They see somebody that needs something, they're gonna help them out because they're just good dudes, you know. And
so they were good to everybody in there.
they were good to everybody. They were good people, and
Yeah.
you know, they were spreading the wealth a little bit. But Sammy, you know, oh, why you giving that motherfucker some money, man? Don't give him shit, man. Make him do something. Make him earn that money. You know, just dumb shit like that. You know,
Trying to dictate their money.
Yeah,
Basically.
real
Trying to
jealous.
Yeah.
Real jealous.
Sammy sees them in the visiting room, and he formulates a plan. I'm gonna rob them.
Right. Yeah.
And that's
gonna
what
rob
happened. It was him that was gonna rob him.
Yeah, he was gonna rob him.
In the video we're watching, he starts to explain that someone else was gonna plot and rob them.
Yeah, no, it was him.
But it was him. Wow.
Yeah. They would have had someone else in the hole. They didn't.
So Salvatore says, Staxx, is there any way you can ask Bobby if he would give more details on how Nicky Scarfo was in prison? I know he mentioned it before, but I was wondering if there was anything he would be willing to share.
Like what?
Yeah, like what, Salvatore?
Yeah, I mean, you know,
You got to be more specific.
I like Nicky. He was a good guy, you know. You know, he got a little crazy on the street, did some crazy shit that maybe I wouldn't have done. But you know, I mean, in prison they let all that they leave that at the door, you know.
But he would come and bug you all the time, right?
Oh, he would bug me all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a nuisance.
He's like, go talk to Vic. Go talk to Vic.
Yeah.
Go talk to Vic.
Yeah. It was funny. I mean, it wasn't funny at the time, but now it's funny. But yeah. Nicky tried to play handball, but he was old, and Vic would try to help him, and Vic was the best in the prison.
Would Vic beat him? Would Vic beat him, or would he let him win?
No, he'd help him out a little bit. But no, Vic never lost. I mean,
no, he wouldn't just let him win.
No, I mean, but he was, Nicky would tire out after 3 points.
He said just how he acted. In there, and if he had any problems with any other inmates.
In Atlanta, he had no problems with anyone. I mean, the guy when he got there was 70 some years old. All he did was go to the chow hall and eat and hang out with the Italians, and then he'd go to the track and walk circles around the track. And him and Faffy.
Shout out to Faffy Ionello.
Yeah, Faffy was cool. Faffy took care of him. He was like his his right hand man there. But
Yeah.
Faffy would Faffy worked out every day, so Nicky would hang out, like do 2 dips with him or a couple push-ups. He tried,
Nicky's doing like 2 push-ups,
I mean,
and then he's like,
I don't know what Nicky weighed, but I swear he couldn't have weighed 100 pounds.
Yeah, he's a little
yeah,
dude.
real skinny, real skinny, but nice guy, very polite and cordial to everybody. I only seen him get upset when he talk about Skinny Joey and that whole situation, but he'd get all start spitting and getting all crazy, but I mean that's old news, and people were tired of it, but yeah, so no, he was nice in the joint. I mean, that's basically his whole routine was to get up in the morning and breakfast, walk the track, go to the cell, read, come back out after lunch, go to lunch, and go back out to the track and walk some more. And that was about it, and every day was like the routine for Nicky.
Feeble as hell looking. Who are you talking to, David? You talking about Scammy?
Scammy.
Joe says, Staxx, can you ask Bobby if King Rat had a boyfriend in jail? Did he have a boyfriend in jail?
I don't know if he had a boyfriend, but I know that he liked to have them the younger more feminine prisoners around him.
Did he really?
Oh yeah, that was his. Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Like them twins, they were right up his alley, boy. He was on them. Forget about the money. He was just on them. It was young boys in there. It was great.
Sammy following him around and shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, let's get back to this story real quick. We got a little bit more of this video, and then we'll get back.
It's Pete's wife. I'm gonna say that's Viv, just because of the 3 B's. That's what I'm gonna call it. Y'all was trying to bite fingers off for rings, huh?
Body, you're flashy. She was a good-looking girl, and I told him, bro, you can't make your wife come in like that. You're sitting down with all crooks and gangsters and shit. They're looking at that.
Don't it sound like the conversation when whoever it was that ended up in Jay's cell? I believe it was Jay's cell. He was from another cartel.
Did you hear him? He said, "Oh, there's crooks in here. They're gonna rob you."
Anyway, sounds like the same kind of conversation.
Lo and behold, a Puerto Rican guy got in touch with his brother.
That's what he says. Some Puerto Rican guy got in touch with his brother, and they were gonna set up the robbery.
Yeah.
So you're saying that there was no Puerto Rican guy?
Well, if there was, I don't know where he was at.
All right, let's see what Sammy says.
Told him to come in, told him what kind of car she had, what she looked like, everything. Matter of fact, the brother saw her on a visit too. So what they were going to do is when she pulled out, they would follow her, crash into her like an accident, right? A little bit. Get out like they're going to show it, and then rob her. Take the rings, take her jewelry, take her money, take everything.
So that was Sammy's scheme. Sammy's telling his own scheme right there, huh?
Hey, listen now. If you'll go back to some of his conversations from other things, he talks about how he sets up, murders, and how he's a mastermind. That was one of the scenarios for one of the murders. Was I'm going to crash into the car. They'll get out, and somebody. Come on, man. He's just. He got no brains.
No brains. I can tell.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
They got caught in this plot. It didn't happen.
How you get caught in the plot, bruh? Big old giant plan, and you get caught in the plot. How you do that?
They got caught in this plot.
So now watch what Sammy says. It's
Thank
funny.
God.
Thank God it didn't.
But I
happen,
told him. I
says.
said, "See, You got to come in here. Let her go rent a fucking Volkswagen or something, a beat up one, an old one to come in. Don't flash in here, you know. And one time I was with my daughter. My daughter, I hope she's listening to this. She was on a visit with me, and he owed me some money. And I made him tell his wife to bring down $800. It was for artwork and bring down 800.
All this
What? All right. So what was the $800 for, Bobby?
I have no idea. It could have been for anything.
Someone else's artwork, right? With Sammy's
Oh yeah, for
signature
sure.
on it.
Yeah, for sure.
So now that painting that Sammy said he did for his granddaughter, did he really do that for his granddaughter?
No, he did not. No, he didn't do that.
He's full of shit, right?
Yeah, he's full of shit. He can't draw a straight line. You know, he can't draw a straight line. He's you know, he's just a master manipulator is all. He's just full of shit.
Well, he got in trouble. I think he got in trouble for selling that artwork, and I think that's why he's retracting his "I'm an artist" thing.
Yeah, I think that the artist that actually did the artwork maybe reached out to him and touched his shoulder and whispered in his ear. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
he must have.
So now what he's doing is he's selling artwork now, different artwork, and he's saying that so this is how me and my friend Kevin in the joint. I'm gonna do a whole new thing on this. Is I'm gonna get the art, and I'm gonna start it. Then I'm gonna send it in to my friend Kevin, and let him do a little bit of it, and then he's gonna send it back out, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of it, and then at the end of the day, I'm gonna give you this certificate right here, and this certificate is saying that Sammy the Bull Gravano signed this painting, right?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like anyone cares about that. No one cares about Sammy Gravano's signature. It ain't worth shit.
No. In paintings, I mean, yeah, he's made it quite a bit of money though on them paintings.
Oh, I know. But there's legitimate people out there doing paintings like Tommy Karate. Go check out Tommy Karate's paintings. He has his own website. He sells artwork. I think the lowest painting he has is around $800, right?
Yeah, they're expensive, but you know what? Tommy Karate is very good. He's very good at blending. His colors are good. His shadows are great. And I can see it that over time he's getting better and better. Yeah, he's really good.
You guys don't know, I was in touch with Tommy Karate, and I have a letter, and we're gonna go over it in the future. We got some things going on, but we'll talk about that.
We gotta take care of that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at a later date.
Yeah. How late? What kind of date?
About a couple days. Couple days. A couple days, man. We'll talk about it. Here, I'll put a link for Tommy Karate's artwork in the description of this video. I'll put it in the chat too if you guys want to check it out. Shout out to Tommy Karate.
Yeah, too bad you couldn't get him on the show.
Yeah, that probably ain't gonna happen.
Nah, they don't let people they don't let them talk on the phone like that.
Matter of fact, what's this? Oh wait, I have Tommy Karate's letter right here. Here, let me just show you a little bit of it.
I've already seen it.
Can you guys see it?
No.
Can you see that?
No, the background's messing it up. It's
whatever.
You can see right through the paper.
No, it's all good. I'll show it at another time. He said, "Thank you for writing me." He said, I'm not going to tell you everything he said. Next time, can you please ask him what kind of man A liar really is. See Tommy Karate next time, can you? He didn't have no dealings with A liar. Tommy Karate definitely didn't have no dealings with A liar. Yeah, that was Tommy Karate's bodyguard. This guy just wants to be involved with everything, huh? A light.
Yeah.
It's insane. Here, let's get back to the Sammy video.
Money and commissary. He's
for artwork, bring down $800 and give it to my daughter when they leave the visit. So I told my
Jimmy
daughter
Gravano allegedly got all this money. What's he need $800 for? Like,
oh, he was broke when he was in the wood. He was broke when he was in there.
They took all his money, huh?
Yeah.
All his drug dealing assets. And then he tried to talk shit to the Flores twins and say they're drug dealers.
Right. And then he, his son went to prison, and then his wife and daughter got fined. They pled guilty. They got fined, a large sum of money. So yeah, they took all of Sammy's assets.
Oh, so they took his money.
Yeah. No.
Here, let me see if I can do this. Maybe this will work. Yeah, this will work. Here, I'll show you Tommy Karate's signature. Right there. Bam! Tommy Patera. That is Tommy Karate's signature.
Nice.
If you want to buy, it's $800.
Well, hey, what's my signature worth?
Not for sale.
I'll sell you mine.
I don't know. Ask these guys.
12 cents, and you can have it.
What they would pay for. So here, let's get back to the video.
going to leave early. I said, no, you can't leave early. When that visit's over, you go in the parking lot. I forgot her name. She's going to come. She's going to give you an envelope. It's money for me. She said, they owe me. So stay here until you
They owe me.
that. She says, okay, Dad. She stayed. So he's asking her, they're not that far from us. And he's asking her, did you bring the money? Oh, no, I forgot. And I'm saying, forgot. I made my daughter stay a lot longer than she wanted to stay. And I'm steaming a little bit. And then she turns around, she tells him, why do you have to give these peasants money? My daughter heard peasants. She said, is this card talking about me? Peasants, I'll break her face. I grabbed her by her arm. My daughter's a tiger.
Do you believe that?
Do
you believe that Karen called them peasants?
No, Karen didn't. It was
now.
I think
They're saying Karen called them.
No. Vivian asked
Vivian
P, why are you giving them money?
Yeah, why you got to give these peasants money?
Yeah, I think that was Vivian that did it. That said it. P's wife.
They are peasants.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So what happened?
I'm getting a video back. Hold on.
I said, sit the down.
Come on.
We're in a visiting room with guards and everything. You hit this fucking girl. I'm going to hit him. There'll be a revolution in this room. You'll never come back on a visit, and I'm going to be in the hole. Stop it. So what? Whatever she called us, don't worry about it. She's a jerk off. And my daughter shut down, but she was biting on her lip. She was growling. She wanted to get at this woman. Then I told him on the inside, I said, bro, I tell your wife, bro, I'm no fucking peasant. My daughter's not a peasant. We're not peasants.
Yeah, you are.
You're a fucking peasant. You just got money because you're a drug dealer. But to me, you're a fucking peasant. You and your fucking scumbag wife.
So what was Sammy though? What was Sammy? Sammy was a drug dealer, man.
He's a bottom feeder.
Sammy is the worst of the worst. Rest in peace to Alan Kaiser. Shout out to Joy. Joy is Alan's brother. And it's terrible around the holidays. They got to go through the holidays without their brother because of Scammy Gravano. And he's on here telling some bullshit ass stories.
Well, why you got money though? How you get money? Extortion, murder? The criminal ego, the criminal hierarchy. It's a character thing, you know what I'm saying? Shit, police got it, gangsters, but the ego's a crazy thing. But that sounds like he didn't like one of them dudes. Sounds like he always had some slick shit to say. And I ain't never heard neither one of the wives, not even Val, who's been in the middle of all kind of shit, have I heard one time anybody say she was on some elitist shit. Like she knew what she was, but she wasn't gonna tell you what you were that I've heard of so far. You know what I'm saying? So I'm calling
Yes,
bullshit. That sounds like
I agree
some,
with that guy.
I need a story to tell, and this guy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All you got his money because of drugs, but you was a peasant, bro. And that argument stopped. So I did time with them. I'm very friendly with the other one, not the guy P, the other one. And even P, I mean, he set me up for a fall to get moved. I did 8 months in the hole because of him.
There we go.
See, there's
Here we
underlying
go.
beefs right there, you know.
All right, he set him up for a fall. You want to keep watching it?
Oh, I don't care. I know what the
Bobby,
deal is.
you want to keep watching?
No,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, go ahead. Keep watching it.
Yeah.
Listen to the fall.
I want to hear it. I want to hear the fall. I want to hear the fall because allegedly, this is what Scammy's saying, is that he was caught because he was going to kill these guys and he was in touch with El Chapo.
You know what I'm saying? Overlying, underlying, all of the above. He said
He was in touch with Chapo, and I reached out to people to kill him, his brother, their wives, and their children. And the government came down on me like a fucking hammer. I was 8 months in the fucking hole. And finally, some of them admitted that it was a fucking fake. Because as soon as he made that fake, they locked me down and they moved him to where he wanted to go, which was closer to his wife. That's all it was about.
So all they needed was the allegation?
That's all they needed. Matter of
and then they took it back and said it was a lie and there was no consequence. They didn't move him back to where he was supposed to be. That don't sound right either.
Matter of fact, my lawyer got in touch with my lawyer. They had a prosecutor from, they come from Chicago. From Chicago, they had the interior investigative team was there. DEA was there at the meeting with me and my lawyer. And we had this meeting. And I'll tell you, the head of the prison security.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying there's something missing from the equation that he's leaving out.
100%.
How they pull a move on you, get you put in a hole for 8 months, get put in the ideal situation for themselves, and then say, nah, it wasn't true. That didn't really happen. And then not have their nice situation that they just manipulated get retracted. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it.
The head of the prison security, he got a turn to talk, and he said, I investigated this, and it looks like Sammy and him had an argument, and this whole fucking thing is bullshit. And he's never reached out to Chapo. He doesn't know him. There's no communication between him and Chapo. They don't even know each other. This is bullshit.
So they went through all this fucking trouble, right? They went to all this trouble and to say that Sammy knew Chapo and he was putting a hit on these brothers.
Right. Yeah, no, see. So here's the real story.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it, man.
P and J were spending a lot of money in the joint. You know how it is when you got money in the joint. They're paying off food service guys, laundry guys.
Yeah, whatever. Fold my clothes over here. You get extra
cell,
trays. Yeah,
right. So they're moving. They're putting a lot of money on the compound, right? And Sammy's jealous as hell about that because Sammy can't do that. He's waddling over to the commissary hoping he got enough money to buy a couple soups. So you know, and he's seeing these guys, and he's supposed to be Sammy the Bull, you know, and so everyone could see that his jealousy, and P and Vivian, they're more like upper class, and Val and Jay are more, you know, I mean, she was married to one of the leaders of the Latin Kings, and you know, so she was a street gal. She knows what's going on.
I interviewed his best friend, that her ex-husband that got killed. I interviewed his best friend on my show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and Vivian,
Cato. She was married to Cato.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and
DMX's
Vivian's the
friend,
exact
Cato.
opposite. Her dad was a police officer in Chicago. So
Yeah. She goes. Her dad, police officer, and she goes to marry a cartel member.
Right. So, so two different, you know, but P and J, they never wanted to be separated, and they would have never voluntarily separated, you know, from one another. But the unit managers went to him a couple different times and said, "Hey, listen, put some shade on what you're doing. You know, people are jealous motherfuckers are writing letters to their prosecutors and saying, oh, these guys are telling me this, this, and this, and they're giving money to this, you know, to try to get some more time knocked off." And so the unit manager said, listen, you know, knock the shit off. Otherwise, you know, we're going to have to separate you. And that's why they got separated. It wasn't because of nothing to do with this bullshit. And Sammy's so full of shit. Sammy was plotting on him, and it came to that somebody, I don't know, and I don't believe it was either P or J. I believe it was someone else that was jealous of Sammy and trying to knock him and get him out of the way so they could go and you know, get close to P and J. So, and that's what Sammy was in the hole for. But Sammy was spouting off, you know, being in a cell. There'll be 3 or 4 guys there, and you know, they'll be not, you know, be knocking the twins. You know, fuck, you know, think they think there's somebody, you know, got all that money. You know, fuck them. I'll rob them in a heartbeat. You know, I'll have my daughter get her old man up here, and you know, just dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
And he kept repeating it over and over. So of course they're going to lock his. You know, he's in a fucking unit where guys are telling on him. You know, so
of course.
So I mean, yeah, it was only inevitable. So Sammy, and so the twins, they had listen. P could have went to the unit manager and said, "I want to go to another place," and that unit manager would have had P on a plane in a week. So it ain't like they got to do anything, you know, suspicious or do anything wrong, because they had all
that much power.
Yeah, they had that much power. Oh yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, yep, yeah. They just want to keep them happy. You know, what do you think? I mean, they're going to testify against El Chapo. They were the government's only witnesses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so they're giving them anything they want.
Anything they want.
Them.
Yeah.
And is this before they testified against El Chapo?
This was before, yeah.
Or after?
No, this was before.
And how long were they in prison before? They're out now, right?
Yeah, they're out. Yep.
And are they in the witness protection program?
No.
Oh, they're just out living their life?
Well, they're not just out living it. I mean, they're in, you know,
hiding.
They're in hiding, I guess. Yeah.
One of the wives got arrested.
Well, the one's in prison.
Prison, right?
Yeah. Well, they both got arrested, and they both pled guilty, got sentenced to 3 years for taxes, for spending money while these guys were in prison.
Spending money while they were gone. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's Vivian is in prison right now, doing 3 years, and Val is appealing it, saying that she had immunity under her husband's immunity package.
So there's only one in prison right now, though.
Right.
How is that possible that you can get sentenced to 3 years, appeal it, and be out on appeal while you're sentenced? That doesn't make sense to me.
No, you can do that. The feds, they do it all the time. You know, it's appeal bond. Maybe they don't have it in your state.
Oh, I mean, I thought the feds don't even have bond anymore.
Yeah, they
don't have bond. I heard it's supervised release.
Supervised release? What's that? What do you mean?
It's kind of like probation before you get sentenced. Before it's kind of like they're putting you on probation. You have to live by these stipulations while you're going to court.
So, so let's say like one of my cases, I had a $25,000 bond. The judge, you know, I don't have the money to get out, so the judge says, okay, you know, we go back for another a reduction, a sentence. We ask for another reduction of bail, you know, a bail reduction hearing. And the judge says, okay, I'm going to place you in the custody and care of, you know, the Middle District of Florida's United States Probation Department. And then that's what you are. Then you're on supervised release. You know, you get out and you're just, you know, until you go to trial. You're under the guidance of the probation office.
Yeah, but so once you get sentenced, you go to trial, you get convicted. Then what? You put in an appeal and you're still out of prison?
Yeah, like see, they've been out on appeal. They were out on bond when they went to trial. So went to trial, got found guilty. They were still stayed out on bond until the day of sentencing. Then the day of sentencing, they were sentenced, and she thought that the sentence was unjust. And because of that, she filed a motion to the court requesting a bail. Appeal bond.
She's in prison at that time, though, right?
No, she just got sentenced that day, and so they immediately they stand up and immediately ask the judge for an appeal bond.
Okay.
And the judge grants it. And
it happened to my uncle too. He was sentenced to 14 years for possession of assault weapon, and he appealed it. And they released him out in the street, and he was sentenced to 14 years. I'm like, how the fuck is this possible?
Yeah, so I don't think that they would have released him unless they had a good argument. So they argued, you know, or presented their situation to the court, and I think the court, you know, maybe said, okay, well, you know, there's a possibility that you could be correct, and therefore I will grant a appeal bond. And I also think that the government didn't appeal it or didn't argue it. I think that was part of the agreement, was that one of the ladies would be incarcerated while the other one was out taking care of all the kids. And then when that one gets out, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just like rotate it kind of.
Right. Yeah.
So they're not both in there at the same time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Scammy is so full of shit. You could tell, man. You could see through his lies.
Yes.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually surprised at how easy he was to read and how easy you could see how he was trying to be manipulative and you know, just trying to be slick and thinking, and he actually thinks he is, you know, and you're like just like laughing at it. And everybody, everybody in the joint was laughing at him, you know, like, come on, dude. Man, are you serious?
I got a clip of Sammy. Let's check it out.
Hey guys, we got a Monday Live again. We had an exciting week. A lot of things going on.
It's like Amina, my diaper's full.
Yeah.
We did a few interviews. One with Fox News, Jesse Waters. I'll talk about it a little bit later. Damn thing almost went viral.
Oh, he did an interview on Fox News. Oh, stop the presses. Stop the presses. Like, what the fuck, man?
It almost went viral. What the hell does that mean?
It means almost was seen by a lot of people. Rogue, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining me. Happy holidays to you and your family. What's good?
That's what I'm going to start saying. My stuff almost went viral.
Real so scrats. Is that what that says? Real so scrats?
Socrates, yeah.
JFK wasn't even a conspiracy. All of the angles have been debunked. When people claim this, they have to know about it. I know they're lying. About what?
Oh, about Sammy. Sammy thinks he knows something about JFK.
Yeah, all right.
Right
Yeah, he
after.
was in,
Oh, that's what he was talking about, JFK on Fox. That's what
yeah,
he's talking about.
Come on, man. Sammy was truly a peasant. He truly was a peasant.
Still is.
That the New York Post put out an article, and and we just got great comments, stuff like that. And I got some people who didn't like it, obviously. Not people, but some elites don't like it.
Elites.
So, so I really don't want to get into it now because I don't want to start a fight with them right now. But I just would love to tell you that, I talked about the veterans.
I think he's all fucked up on something, man. Doesn't he seem like he's on drugs or something?
Yeah, he probably
He
is.
does, right? And during this show right here, he sniffs real hard, like he's catching a drip. Watch, you'll see it.
In our country, I'm a veteran. I'll never stop talking about veterans. I don't care what you do to me. I won't stop. So, but I don't want to get into this argument right now with this
Scammy, you're a fake veteran.
whole thing. But it went off rather well. I mean, it was on the verge of literally, it was going viral. And I think that upset a few people, but it was literally going viral. I mean,
for a second?
I spent in a weekend.
Huh?
Can he sit still?
I don't think
Just
so.
moving around, just bouncing up and down.
Didn't he say Sammy likes the booger sugar?
The booger sugar?
Cocaine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's on coke, man. Watch.
Of answering phones and messages and things and trying to. I was exhausted. I was literally exhausted. Friends of mine who I haven't talked to for years, and guys I'm working with now. I mean, Hollywood producer. Everybody and their mother had called me, and it was. I got to say the truth. Everything we checked. Anna checked it. Amina, I did to the best of my ability. I'm not that good at that, but we have a 99.9% favorable reaction to it.
Conviction rate? Is that what you mean to say, Sammy? You have a 99.9% conviction rate?
Right. Well, he's talking. You know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then that's impossible. You know what I mean? 99.9% positive rating, not in a million years.
No. Total
Prove
bullshit.
it, Sammy. Show us the analytics.
I think he's talking about 99% of them responding to the comments, which is total bullshit as well.
99.9% was positive. But he just got done saying about 4 minutes ago that, the elitists, we had some people that were upset with it, and,
Yeah. So what the fuck is that, man?
Yeah. So, I mean,
so he addresses the negative shit first, right? And then he's like, oh, yeah, 99.999% was positive. Let's see what he's got to say.
You can't
There are some people who, said some negative things, but it's such a small amount, it's not even worth talking about.
Well, you are talking
It's
about
not even
it.
1%. So
it's not even 1%, but we're going to address it right here. And Sammy's fucking the stats all up, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on and I'm going to talk about other things. I got messages coming in. We had stuff we didn't ask last week and a few other things that we're doing. So I want to talk about that. I don't want to get stuck on this subject too long. And Amina, if there's any questions you'd like to ask me.
I like the long.
He's fucking losing it, man. Do you agree?
He's something. I don't know what he's doing.
Something's wrong with this guy.
Pause and the stare. Hi, Sammy.
Hey.
You have a good weekend?
Good, pretty good. I was very, very busy. I went to a luncheon the other day. A friend of mine her father, Lindsay's father. It was his 80th birthday, and I went there, and I found at the last minute, so I brought him a couple of pictures. One of the Al Capones that I did, and one of them with the Diane Sawyer, I think, picture. And I gave it to the dad. He was 80 years old. He's a fan of mine, and I went to his birthday party.
He gave it to the guy for his birthday.
Hey, you notice what he said? One of my Al Capones I did.
One of my Al Capones.
Yeah. Sammy, I'd like to see you do one Al Capone.
On
camera. Just a rough outline of Al Capone.
We got $50,000 cash for you, Sammy, if you can fucking pull it off.
Yeah.
He ain't doing that, man.
Then from there, I got back. It was way up north, so it's a little bit of a trip for me. Got back, and then Richie called me. The people I did an interview with in Tennessee, well, the guy came in and I met him at night for dinner. So I was one meeting after the other, and they're gonna work on some things. There's people in Tennessee who want to see me. I hope it's not the Ku Klux Klan, but I'm not sure who it is, but they want to see me, talk to me. So he's trying to work out some of the details. I have something going on in California. I'll be gone for a couple of days. You know, so I got a whole bunch of different projects that's taking up a lot of time. And so let's get going.
Cool. Well, before we start, speaking of birthdays, there is a birthday shout out. Natalie had written in, it is her partner's 35th birthday. His name is Matthew. They live in the UK.
Matthew?
Matthew, and they're loyal listeners to you, and they've been watching your content every Monday live.
That's great. Hey, Matthew, it's your 35th birthday. Congratulations. Do you know that I was dating Natalie before you? So,
Sammy.
No, I'm only teasing Natalie and Nate, Matt. So, listen,
Natalie,
happy birthday.
19.
Huh?
Must have been some 18 or 19-year-old girl he always likes chasing.
Well,
He's
he's
young
got
boys
two.
and young girls.
He's got two of them in the studio right now. Word on the street is that he's involved with one of these young women.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's what people are saying. They're saying that he rides around his fucking little mobility scooter with her on his lap.
Oh, he looks good there, yeah.
He does, right? Look, his buddy A-Light's there with him. They're all taking a shopping trip.
I see that.
This is what Scammy keeps talking right here.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That's all Sammy talks is a bunch of shit, man.
I got a great girlfriend, reaching
All right, let's fast forward.
and union connections and stuff like that. But it's a full day's work. It was a full day's work. I had a good big crew, loyal crew, not only street guys, but legitimate people who worked for me. I had a great secretary. She did a lot of work. She was there all the time. She knew who I was. And she really worked hard to make things work because she saw I was busy all the time.
Yeah.
But it's tough. It's tough, you know, especially when you got multiple things going. I'm an overthinker. So for me, that's easy. I like that. Some people don't like it. To deal with a multitude of different things at the same time, and you could ask my crew now, I do that all the time. That's why on the weekends, a lot of times when they leave, I'm making calls, trying to get things going. So when Monday happens, I could start my Monday. I already prepped some of these meetings and stuff on the weekend. So that's how I run my business even now. So I've been used to that all my life.
Amazing. Great work ethic. We need more of that today.
Yeah.
Society. All right, I'm going to jump into the super chats. Adam, how well did you know Tommy D. Simone, Sammy?
I didn't know him well at all. I knew of him. I didn't know him well. I knew some of the guys in the Paul Vario crew. Me and John, like I said, a couple of times when Paul Vario died, we were caught on tape. We went to his funeral, but I didn't know them well. They were a different crew. They were out in Queens. They had mostly the airport type of stuff they were doing. They knew John Gotti and them. John was in Queens, and so they knew him a little bit better, but I didn't know him. I knew of him. He had a tough reputation, so I knew of him, but I didn't know him personally too much. I never went out drinking with him or anything like that, so I didn't really know him personally.
Nice. Thank you, Sammy. Metal Warrior with a weekly envelope for you. No comment, no question. Just
Thank
to
you.
kick up to the boss. John Ball. Hey, Sammy. Did you see my Sparks picture?
Yes, I did.
Save me.
Laying on the floor. You're a little crazy.
You hear me? Save me, man.
Huh?
Save me. Get this off there. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, it's fucking. It's really.
It's ridiculous. I got an
it is,
envelope.
man. It's like, come on, man. Oh, they got an envelope for you, a monthly envelope or a weekly envelope for you.
That is insane. That's insane. He's eating that up, boy.
So I'm responding to a comment of some scumbag on YouTube. So someone made the comment, Staxx, are you gonna reveal the video of the toys and the toy drive and this and that? I don't gotta prove nothing to nobody. I do the toy drive from the kindness of my heart. So all the people who are in the membership, you will see it. To all you people who are not, you won't see shit. And I don't owe you nothing. So if you want proof about the toy drive and all this, I want proof that you donated, and then you'll get proof on the toy drive. Okay? I'll make that deal with you. But until then, you get nothing from me. Thanks for watching. But anyway, let's get back to the show. I got someone that's pretty entertaining. Check this out.
I was wealthy. I mean, I had money to, I opened up a nightclub. I put $500,000 in that. And I had a parking company that was worth about 17.6. I won $1 million in a lawsuit that the government stepped in Florida, stopped it. Mike Malatin was my primary target with Duke Mandel, and he got on deposition 6 times lying, and the case got stopped by the federal prosecutor, didn't allow us to continue. And we had to settle. There was exculpatory evidence and a tape that was never brought out. So, I mean, I'm just banging numbers out.
Hey, pussy. What's up, Rodney? Get to the front of the class, man. Get to the front of the class. Pussy Rodney. Come on, raise your hand, Rodney.
Who's Rodney?
This guy, one of my biggest fans.
Oh.
Rodney, raise your fucking hand, bitch. You have a nice day, you scumbag piece of... Don't let the floaters hit you. It's too bad, huh? Now make another account, come back, and I'll do it again. Now, yes, I did flush them.
You know who that is?
It's Sammy.
Oh, that is?
Or it's Dick Lips.
To the door. I pushed the door in.
That's who it is. It's either Dick Lips or Sammy. Definitely one or the other. Yeah, it's probably.
Warn you, but I'm gonna fix it. I did this to the door. Warn you, but I'm gonna fix it. I pushed the door in. 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 I did this to the door. Yes, I pushed the door in.
And his car is on trial here.
Yours. But I'm gonna fix it. But I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it.
So if I get charged for this,
You're not being charged. You're not being charged. You're not being charged. You're not being charged.
I'm the one who wants to take you
Oh, wait, not just that. Hold up. There's more.
Paying for these women? Yeah. Paying for these women?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are they from again?
You're crazy.
It's fucking see-through. It's like skin. It's just like there. It's fucking see-through. It's like skin. It's just like
Oh my god! Where? Where? Paying for these women?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
Sounds like he's losing it. But hey, it's all good. I appreciate you guys taking the time and watching this show. If you guys don't know, I just hit 8,000 subscribers, and it's moving forward, and we're going to keep getting subscribers, and we're going to keep getting views, and we're going to keep bringing the good content to you people and entertain you. And if you like this content, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we go? Shout out to your nephew.
Oh yeah, shout out to Justin, and he got some good music going on right now. I don't know if you've heard some of his music, right?
Yeah, I'll put a link in the description of this video if you want to check his music out.
Yeah, his music's pretty good. I like it.
I hope you guys all.
Got some good sayings, some good words,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hell yeah.
Merry Christmas, Bill. It's good chatting with you again. Merry Christmas to everybody else, and I will talk to you soon, I'm sure.
Definitely. And if you guys want to help out with the toy drive, you can hit up the Cash App, Chattin with Staxx, or you can hit up Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chat. Got one more day left for the toy drive. So if you guys want to help me help them, I appreciate it. And we do things for the community. We're not like all these other people out here that just, whatever. I don't even care what they do. They can do whatever they want. We know what we do. So hope you guys all have a great holiday, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. We got some more trash to take out. So have a great night, and we'll see you later. And remember, if you don't like this podcast, start your own, and don't